also out these last couple of weeks is the MCU Disney Plus series, Secret Invasion. This is the story picking up a lot from Captain Marvel and also sort of bringing Nick Fury back down to earth. And, you know, MCU recently, we've covered it. If you've listened to any of our shows, we've covered MCU recently. It's really been a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And even the films that recently have worked for us a lot more, like Guardians 3, you could definitely say they are all still very much big ideas, space, dimensions, time, traveling through time, multiverse, and I think I'm safe to say that that is, for a lot of people, starting to get a little bit too much. The idea is a little bit too big. These concepts are too large. Here comes Secret Invasion, which could not be more of a sharp contrast to everything that's going on in mainline Quantum Mania.
Okay.
Right? This is a much more boots on the ground, planet Earth set spy espionage thriller. It is based on a comic series of the same name, but from what I understand, as with a lot of the Marvel films that are based on comic series, very much changed, but like you can follow a lot of loose threads. It really does evoke Cold War paranoia. The color palette is brought way down. Like there is no Guardians just trampoline jumping on thing. It really does. I think if you squinted, it would look like the kind of Sky original drama espionage thriller starring Richard Armitage.
Yes, okay.
Do you know what I mean? If you just kind of missed a scroll here and there, it really does look like that. So we're picking up the story with Nick Fury, who was dealing with this issue of, if you remember, the shape-shifting, face-swapping Skrulls. And it was Ben Mendelsohn who played the main Skrull that we were introduced to.
The Aussie Skrull.
The Aussie Skrull. Ben Mendelsohn's really good at this. Actually, a lot of people are really good in this. So this is set decades after the events of Captain Marvel, which was set in the 90s.
That's right, yes.
And the Skrulls have yet to be given a new home that they were promised, right? And so many of them have reached this breaking point. There's almost this refugee situation where a distress call was put out and all the remaining Skrulls across the universe have essentially found a place on planet Earth, and it's revealed that there's like 1 million of them. Nick Fury is like, there's 1 million here? And Ben Mendelsohn's like, what was I going to do? Like, we don't have an option, and here was the safe place for us to go. You have a faction of rebel Skrulls who are essentially using terrorism and stoking violence to create a proxy war between the US and Russia. And I think the show from the outset does a really good job of creating this sense of hopelessness and desperation. And with this show, the central spy espionage twist is that anyone at any point could be a Skrull. So who are we really talking to? People who are said to be doing one thing, reveals that they're changing. And that kind of, it could tire on itself, but that's sort of becoming sort of one of the main twists of what this show is. I think as it stands right now, I've seen 2 episodes out of the 6. I don't think I'm going, everyone stop what you're doing, you need to go and watch this show. But what I am enjoying is a really well-executed spy thriller. It's in the world that I'm very attached to with Marvel, but it feels like really refreshing, palate-cleansing antidote to the other offerings in the MCU right now. So I do think it's worth checking out. I think the dialogue feels really sharp and smart, and I think it's building decent foundations for what could be a good series. I'm apprehensive to say, like, oh my God, this is the best thing since whatever, because I really think like how you execute this at the end is where it's really going to come through. Like we thought that with Obi-Wan, which I know isn't Star Wars, but I know isn't Marvel, but similarly. Yeah. And then I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier had a first couple of episodes which I liked, but I ended up finding it very dry and very boring. Yeah. Like, you've taken quite a risk to go, we've got all these heroes with powers, but did you ever wonder what Nick Fury and Maria Hill were up to? Yeah. It's like, are you sure you want to do it? Samuel L. Jackson is, shocker, really great. When you give him, like when you realise Samuel L. Jackson does not front many films. He's done The Hateful Eight and he's done Coach Carter. Yeah. And he's like, he actually does not get to front a lot of things. Exactly. Maybe? Like there's not a lot of stuff these do. And I really like where Nick Fury's at in this. He is not quite the cool, confident, sharp boss of the Avengers who could walk into a room of superheroes and go, hang on, cut the shit, this is what you need to do. He really is quite good at being quite terrified, being quite scared, communicating the stakes, and there are really, really good stakes from the first 2 episodes that have come in. He is both like quite literally scarred at some of the things that have happened. You also got Ben Mendelsohn in this, who's great, and Olivia Colman playing this rogue MI6 agent who's also having a lot of fun. As I said, do not stop what you're doing. Do not halt everything else you're watching. Just check it out. But I'm just really enjoying that it's a different offering that Marvel have been offering. It sounds like a completely different writer's room.
Yeah.
The people working on this one, the other side of the fucking building.
Yeah.
You know,
if you want to cool your heels and have a tonic to what's been happening. Yeah.
As I said, it feels as competent as those like Sky Original. That's like a barometer of success, like those kind of things. And I just quite enjoyed getting sucked into a well-executed thriller.
Okay, great. Well, if you've seen Secret Invasion, and you'd like to let us know your thoughts.
I'd like to pick up on it when I finish it towards the end. So if people have thoughts or thoughts on the finale, I think it'd be great to catch up on them if people enjoy it. Maybe some spoiler chats if people are happy to.
You know the drill, guys. Email us in to hello@pulpkitchenpodcast.com.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this bonus episode of Pulp Kitchen. We really enjoy making them. We hope it's sort of a little second dose of Pulp Kitchen love to the middle of the week. Don't forget, we post new episodes of the show every single Wednesday. We will have seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
Yes,
part
I
one
think.
for
Well,
next week.
you will have seen it. I
will have
sadly
seen it.
can't. I just can't. I'm not around.
Going away again. Yeah.
Sorry, it's the summer.
But yeah, guys, stay tuned for that. That should be hopefully a great episode.
All right. See you next week.
Then.